Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how rejection grows us stronger in faith and in our walk with the Creator. But for the other team, rejection is projection. Over on the other side of the fence, they aren't necessarily rejecting you. They've been rejected their entire lives. So it's a form of projection. Why? When you feel as though you're being rejected or they're giving signs and symptoms like they're rejecting you, really is them projecting their process from within. You may have been getting too close, you may have been learning a little bit too much about them. But we're going to deal with rejection on all levels in today's society. Whether you waking up having, to contact the system. To me, this contacting the system is like having to do things with like DMV, hospitals, dentists, rejection from not getting your schedules, your appointments scheduled on time. You have rejection with going to stores, not being able to get certain items, rejection from workplaces, trying to get raises, or just being able to change locations or spaces. And you got rejection from your friends and family, and it comes on all different levels. And once you experience enough rejection, which a lot of us, as black sheep or scapegoats, which all goes hand in hand together, that's the name they give us. But really, it's because we're the light bearers. So it only makes sense for them to put those kind of names on us. And then we just ride with the labels right now, because it's just a label. I'm not my government name that I was given at birth. So you can call me. I had multiple nicknames throughout my life. Everybody know I'm still me, so it didn't make a difference. But when out here dealing with this rejection, it does something to your confidence, to your self-esteem. It forces you almost to be in a space to where you have to fight harder to keep yourself encouraged, to keep momentum. We have a lot of witches and warlords out here, right? That's on the regular level playing field, which is the ones we see every day. Then you got the higher ups who we don't see never, unless it's on a computer screen, or half of them probably not even there. They AI generated, so I never know what's going on with the big people up there. But when you deal with rejection and you've experienced it, you understand what it does to you spiritually. For me over here on this side, and I know for us who walk with the Creator, our process with dealing with rejection it's always been a little tricky and difficult, but it's always like a challenge that we always pushed through. Especially the warriors, it's something about you telling me I cannot, you're not allowing me access, and it's to things or something pertaining to a healthy viewing, a healthy perspective. I'm not talking about like just I'm getting rejected because I wanted some Skittles in the store, don't want it. That's not what I'm talking about. We talking about on a bigger level. So, for example, like we here in front of the screen, YouTube. I got denied 3 times for monetization on YouTube. And every time you get denied, you gotta wait, like I think it's like 30 days, 60 days. It's some kind of time span you gotta wait. I had met all the criterias, and they still was not trying to monetize me. And each time I went back to try to go back to get monetized, I would have to implement a different strategy or implement some kind of different information to kind of help the process, because it was like it's in their control. So the only thing I could do is figure out another way to push through or break it harder, opposed to me saying, oh, they rejected me, I'm not going, I'm out of here. Kind of like a college school letter that you get when you're trying to get into a school and they tell you that you're not accepted. Then people take it really hard because they really put all their eggs in one basket. You cannot take rejection that way. Because when you start taking rejection that way, it'll make it easy for the system and beings around you to manipulate your energy. You know, you couldn't needed a car ride, they rejected you. Now your energy is tweaked throughout the day, and you try and figure out the fastest way to fix it, so that way you're not affecting other people's energies with your low vibration vibes, because you frustrated. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say all frustrations are low vibrations, because we're here to experience every emotion. You know, it's always weird to me when people want us to not express anger, but it's an emotion that we're supposed to manage and master. So I experience and I express all emotions, and the Creator wouldn't have gave me access to that if I wasn't supposed to. And I wouldn't have been able to defend myself and protect myself and the ones around me if I didn't access that anger energy. Yes, you are supposed to master it, you know. But what happens is, when you in this society and you out here just trying to live life, you trying to build more, you trying to help heal more people, you trying to help heal yourself, you know what I mean? Since we already moving with the Creator, we already know we're gonna have all these weird attacks going on already anyways. So as people are popping up into your life because they want to, because you allowed them, because maybe the locations forced y'all to be in the same space and that's how y'all kind of mingle, they, as long as they still using that other playbook, is gonna implement some kind of rejection. What they are doing on the other side is all the emotions that they don't like feeling, they know how it makes them feel. They want us to feel that exact same way. Now, I couldn't be mad at them, because if somebody hit me, I'm gonna want to hurt them. I want you to feel worse than how I felt, you know. So I can understand it to a certain degree. But when I use my team's playbook, we don't naturally run around treating people how we don't want to be treated. We're treating everyone how we want to be treated. So when you are out here and you in this witchy sauce and you gotta wake up, try to use your phone, it's tweaking on you, that's a form of rejection. The technology is being weird. You use your computer, it's tweaking out, that's a form of rejection. You leave the house, you know, people honking their horns at you or taking forever at the gas station and stores and stuff. You know, when you look at things on the deeper level and you actually are on a mission, on a purpose, all of these little things that's happening are hindrances. But we also have to deal with this because we are in a mixed society. So it's not like this is this side of town, this field, and then you can bump over there. You got the city, which is pretty small, then you got more field. Nah, it's just, it all runs concurrent together. And you already know, when you out here walking this way of life, you're going to deal with a lot of rejection. People ain't going to like the way you talk, you open your mouth. They're going to reject you. People don't like the way you walk. They're going to reject you. People don't like the way you sound or the way you say things. Oh, you know, I didn't like the way that flower bloomed. You know, like, who cares? The flower is here now. So when people have a hard time intaking information based off of how it was said, these people are still at a place of either learning to master their energy and emotion and intake information regardless, or they just haven't been through enough hard obstacles. You know, because once you go through enough hard obstacles in life, you already understand. You take your learning lessons how they come. It doesn't matter if somebody is saying it exactly how you want to say it. The things that always stuck out to me the most when people pointed something out when they was in their process of trying to reject me or say some shit, you know, about my being or my character, it set in with me, because usually if somebody was saying that, I allowed them in my personal space, so now their words, their energy holds a little bit more weight than somebody who wasn't in my personal space. So I always take heed of it. Even if it's coming from the dark side, I always take heed. So even when I think about my relationships, the same way that my BM had a great man right here beside her, but she chose to do things a different way, I knew from, I'm just going to call it rejection just for the sake of just trying to keep everything aligned. But her form of rejecting me and rejecting this light, it allowed me to be able to implement new lessons, intake new information, ideas, and it also allowed me to access or assess situations as they was happening a lot smoother on the fly, you know. So in my world, if I was dealing with the opposite sex and they was trying to nitpick and find little areas to kind of reject someone in or to reject me, and then I knew when I engaged with the next being, it wouldn't be those same areas where they would be working on trying to figure out, how can I reject him? It just seems like it's too good to be true. Everybody runs into that saying, oh, it's too good to be true. That's because you moving and you walking in bad faith. It's never too good to be true when you moving with the creator and the light. When you move with the creator and the light, you just know like, oh, this shit is for me. This is me. Creator sent this right here for me. This is for me. This ain't no, oh, it's too good to be true. People who be saying that it's too good to be true, I be feeling like they understand like who they are as a being and as a character, and you know, some of the witchy things that they had done in their past, and they couldn't fathom why people would be involved with them or like them the way that people do. I never perceived things that way. But the rejection is going to be something that we aren't going to be able to avoid, you know. You just figure out a way to master your energy the best way possible. You know, if I get ramped up in the car and I'm driving, I have techniques that I use that settle my energy down, because when you're in the car, they kind of like, they really fast. It's pop quizzes, you know. So you'll have things happening extremely fast. You don't have time to prepare for it. If I'm communicating and I'm engaging with my person, you know what I mean? That's different. I got a little preparation time. Like, we're talking, it's energy, it's momentum building up to something. Even if they just throw it out there sporadically, we've been gauging it enough that, you know, I should have been expecting it somewhere in between there, especially if I know what playbook they're using. Rejection in my life has just only made me stronger. For some of us, I've been brown. Let the system tell it. I've been black as hell my whole life. I done had to deal with all kind of witchy stuff, you know, forms of rejection. Just me being me, just showing up. When I didn't have no knowledge, I used to think it was because of my skin complexion. As I got more aware and I became more aware, I realized it ain't got anything to do with my skin complexion on the deepest levels. It has to do with my spiritual being, the causes and the playbook that I use, you know. I done been at hotels before getting ready to leave out, and you know, white service people, just housekeepers, call the police, say I got a gun on me. It was crazy. I done had all kind of weird stuff happening. You know, they searched me and all that shit. I didn't have no gun on me. It was me and my BM and my daughter around that time. But I done had so many weird, I had people not wanting to cash my checks just because they felt like they could reject me, because they was in a position of authority and they didn't like the way I asked for a pen. I'm like, bruh, I'm just trying to cash this check so I can get on about my business. And it was a whole thing. I had to go to the manager. But if I wasn't okay and I hadn't received so much rejection in my life, a lot of these things I would have just let skate past. But when they didn't want to cash my check at a place, I made sure that I got a chance to talk to a manager and I could holler at them and see what's going on and make those adjustments accordingly. But I've been dealing with rejection my whole life. I done been around so many places and spaces where when I was younger, like I said, I just assumed people didn't like me because I'm darker than the average. So, and especially when I'm in VA, in a predominantly white area where I'm at right now, like it's mixed, but it's predominantly white. When I do stuff with my daughter, I take her outside of Charlottesville so she could just be around more brown people, you know, like I see geese with geese, so occasionally, you know, the damn geese want to go chill with the other geese. They don't always want to hang out with the ducks and, you know what I mean, and the fish and all that shit, and the squirrels. Like, they want to, sometimes you just want to be around other beings. They don't even have to be anything on no ACEs shit. I don't like to say the R word because it's really all just ignorance. You know, once you in this space, you already understand it's not a color bias to this war. It's not color bias. It's all based on your spiritual playbook, your principles, morals, and values. That's why a lot of people be so confused. Like, who is they? Who is they? Who is they? They is whoever is using that witchy playbook. Simple process. You got big people using the playbook, then you got little people that's down on these levels that's using the playbook. You know what I mean? But rejection is something that's going to happen, and you're going to have to power through it. And it's always going to happen at the most inconvenience times of your life, to where you got to work even harder now to figure out, oh shit, rent due tomorrow. I just got rejected on that loan. How the hell am I going to wiggle this around? It forces you to dive deeper in your spirit world, to check other people, check resources, check other places, things. Just it forces you to dive deeper, and it shows you the depth that we obtain, that we pertain within, you know. In here, this is our inner space. This is inner space. Out here, there's grass, trees, there's buildings, schools, stuff. All of this is outer space. My car, that's my spaceship. You know, it's not going to be like the Jetsons, because humans, we not comfortable in the air, you know. We can be in the air, but that's not something that we will live at. Just like most of us wouldn't live underwater. So you got very few small percentages of us that will decide to live in the water, you know. But just keep all of this in mind, you know what I mean? Like, if you find yourself in a space to where it's been one of those weeks, you've been dealing with rejections left and right, bong, 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 just remember, you gotta keep pushing through. Because usually for me, when I start getting hit with more rejections consistently and they're consecutive, I usually have some kind of nice reward at the end of it once I stay consistent and I stick through the process. Because even with the YouTube, when I stayed consistent with it, and by the time I got around to my third time to pushing for monetization, the Tatiana beat that I had remade had went viral, and then that one pushed up to like 1.3, 1.6 million views on it. You know what I mean? So that was just a matter of staying consistent, you know, and not allowing rejection to hinder and hold my process. We warriors, you know what I mean? So you gotta have some fun with it to a degree too. When you getting rejected, just look at it like, I don't know, like a word search puzzle. Like whatever is that thing or that space for you that just makes life lighter. You know, some people like painting. They think of it as, oh, I got a new canvas. I got a blank canvas. I got these new colors. Ooh. You know what I mean? Artists, some of them like, oh my God, I just got this fire. I got a whole beat package, bruh. I'm about to go crazy on it, you know? Producers, they be like, oh man, I just got some new sounds, boy. Hey, I cannot wait to lace this down. You know what I mean? Figure out that space that works for you, that help pull you out of all those low vibration feelings that are attached with rejection. Because the more we start feeling insecure, the more we start second guessing ourselves, the more we start feeling like we're not good enough, the worse position it puts us in when we are trying to be more helpful to the universe and to ourselves. You know, you're gonna experience feeling insecure. You're gonna experience not feeling good enough. You're gonna experience every little piece of it. It's part of the recipe. It's part of the recipe. When you think about making a cake, you think about all the ingredients that go in there. It's the same thing when you should be processing some of these word spells that are, you know, aligned and that we use in today's society. So when I think of rejection, I see rejection up here real big, and then I think of all of these feelings that are experienced when this word is being projected or is being felt on this side. You know what I mean? We have methods over here. On the other side, it's completely different. Their rejection is projection. We already understand a lot of stuff that they doing over there is extremely toxic, unhealthy. It is selfish on the highest level, you know. So their intentions is to keep those feelings on you, to keep you feeling extremely low about yourself. Sometimes all they got to do is one action, and they know that causes someone to feel rejected, and now you have to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. I'm a warrior over here, so I would never tell people not to fight back physically or spiritually. It's what we do over here. You know, I'm one of them beings that I understand the system took a lot of things that we do on this side of the spectrum and they flipped it. So if the system seeks justice by, you know, by its nature, what you think natural law does? What do you think natural law does? I don't. If my walk of life was supposed to be like, all right, just leave it all up to the creator, I wouldn't have a life. Because I wouldn't feel the need to do anything. I would just say, I could just sit here in this grass and just leave it up to creator. He'll do it. No, I'm here in this 3D realm for a reason, and I will put that motherfucking work in. It's that simple. It's very simple. You feel much better when justice is served. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says. You know, when you time travel into those spaces where you was done unjust and justice was served, every time you go back to them spaces, you don't have to worry about that weird bad energy or processing revenge or processing get back, because justice was already served. It was already served. You don't hear people talking about justice no more. You hear people talking about, oh yeah, you need to be quiet, you need to let go, you need to walk away, shut the fuck up. Like, all of these things besides, yo, you know what? Sometimes justice got to be served, and it's not always going to come from the creator. Sometimes justice has to be served, and it's not always going to come from the creator. You will know how it feels when it's unserved and when it's not the way it's supposed to flow. Because anytime you get something done to you and it's unjust, it sits on your energy, on your spirit for a long time. It takes you a while to remove and shake that feeling off you. Every time you think about that being, it puts you in some kind of angry, wanting to rage, snap out, wanting to, you know, even if you're not around them, just when you process it, you're going through that whole cycle of what you want to do, what you want it to do. And then you tell yourself, no, it's in the creator's hands. It's like, yeah, that's cool. But we got warriors down here on foot in real lifetime. I don't know about y'all, but you touch me, I gotta put these hands back on you. You fuck with my people in the spiritual world, best believe them vibes is coming right back to you. It's that simple. We gonna serve that justice one way or another. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. You damn right. I don't play none of them games. All that other shit with people tiptoeing and you know, not being about that life, they gotta save that for somebody else, a whole nother location, whole nother channel. Because over here, we don't get any younger. So the more solid you stand on your 2 feet, you keep your roots down in the ground, we all got to get out of here. Everybody has to leave eventually. Everybody got to get the fuck out of here. So while you hanging on by a thread trying to sit around as long as you can, hey, I'm gonna let my masculinity shine. It's gonna do what it do. I don't give a damn if somebody call it toxic or not. Because the creator know my intentions. Doesn't matter if you calling it toxic, you're not connected with source. You don't understand the vibrations that's needed out here to fight this battle. You know what I mean? And the amount of footwork that you actually do gotta put in to fight this battle. Come on, man. The more situations you've been in, the more easier it makes to comprehend this and know what you actually have to do. You know, some of the most peacefulest people are some of the most dangerous people. You know, you have to, it's something about when you understand the severity of danger, it makes you respect peace more. Something about when you understand the severity of danger and you've been in dangerous situations, you understand peace on a whole nother level. A whole nother level. I don't want anybody beside me that's not willing to fight for their peace. Sorry and not sorry. You know what I mean? That's just me. But I ain't want to run it up too long, you know what I mean? Just be mindful of the recipe that comes with rejection, because it will pull you into a weird space and you will find yourself taking weeks to get out of it. Days or hours, depending on, you know, how much power was sent behind it and how much care or respect you kind of had for the beings or being that used that towards you. You know what I mean? But tap in everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.